As many of you know, when I was about 6 years old, I started meditation. My dad was a meditation teacher, and his teacher also became my teacher. He was a very, very advanced person. One year when I was about 10 or 12 years old, my main teacher and my dad and we went on holiday together, and this was the one and only time this ever happened to me. But it was a huge fast track in my spiritual journey. It was an enormous expansion, because for an entire week, every single day, we would sit down and just talk about spirituality, just talk about the divine. He would pass on and share lessons with me. It was an enormous growth spurt. It felt like a fast track to me to spend that time with him in his company, such close proximity, living and eating together and everything else. And he shared a very, very important lesson with me, which I'm going to share with you today. We went out one day, and we were only maybe 10 minutes away from a beach. So we walked one day to the beach, and I put my hand into my pocket and I had a coin. And I remember stood by the sea, and I just threw this coin as far as I could into the sea, and it just splashed into the water, disappeared. I wouldn't do this now. I don't know why I did it at that time, but I just did. And didn't think anything more of it. We went later on in the day to have some lunch, and I sat down on a chair, and as I looked down, the same coin that I threw was on the floor, or the same type of coin. And I picked it up, and I was like, wow. And my teacher said, as you give, so you shall receive. And the lesson, of course, was that what you put into the world at some point will return to you. And it was the way that he then coupled that lesson in the outer world with that explanation, or that quote, which embedded in me the truth that what we put out into the world, however small, whether it's just a little coin or whether it's something more substantial, eventually we receive that. And this has been shown to me in a much broader way more recently. Over the last year or so, I've been teaching online. In fact, I've been teaching online for about 4 or 5 years now, meditation and spirituality in a one-to-one capacity. But over the last year, I set up an online school, and I've been teaching hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world. And it's been my own biggest year in terms of spiritual growth, spiritual expansion. My meditations have taken to a different level, and it's because I've been giving more. I've been putting out into the world that type of assistance and help, and I've been receiving it personally in the way that I've inwardly grown. And this is so powerful, because what it can help us to do is look at the areas in our life that we are lacking in, and rather than trying to draw that from the world, seeing how we can give more, trying to develop this habit of not wanting more all the time, not trying to take from the world, but to give to the world. I remember my teacher saying to me once, when we would do certain, we'd meditate and would do certain hand positions and things, and very often he would teach me a hand position which would be symbolic of giving back to the earth. And he would often say, we take so much from the earth, it's nice for us to give back sometimes. We never really give back, we're very much consuming. But these trees, they work off of a cycle, they draw from us, but they give us something. They give us oxygen, or in some cases they give us fruit. So we want to try, if we can, especially as people who are spiritual, to see how we can start giving more love to someone, giving more time to people, giving more in whatever capacity that is, but from an intention of actually wanting to do it. Not just purely from an intention of, I'm going to give so that I receive, but to give for the love of giving. I think someone said once, I can't remember if this was a quote or just something that I've thought of, but the act of loving someone else is the experience of love. You're experiencing love by loving someone else. So love is selfless, but through that selfless action, it experiences more of itself. That love expands and interacts with everyone around it, but the one that's experiencing that love experiences more of it, experiences that expansion. And I think this is a really, really powerful lesson, and it also touches upon the truth that everything that we experience outside is nothing but a reflection of our own inner environment. And the more that we can give, the more that we can do externally and to others and provide in a way that is selfless, in truth we're only providing and giving and putting out to ourselves anyway, because everything around us is nothing but a reflection of ourselves. So I really encourage you to meditate on this idea, and if you can, to see how in small ways you can give. And it doesn't need to be money. I think money is it can be very helpful, of course, and it's a beautiful thing to do, but I think there are so many other ways that we can give, even if it's just a smile as you walk down the road and you walk past someone, or if it's just, you walk across a zebra crossing and you thank the person, or whatever it is. In whatever way we can give, if we can develop the habit of giving a little bit, we also receive. As you give, so too you shall receive. Wishing you a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.